Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll be combining the first 3 Arks of Omen books that were revealed today with the new character VASHTORR, who has got the perfect YouTube face for the thumbnail. Let's get right into it with the video that revealed the first 3 Arks of Omen books today. And notice it does say in the article the first 3 arcs. Does that mean there's more? It certainly hints that there's going to be more books to come. I'm sure they said there wasn't going to be a lot of books in this series for the Arks of Omen. But, I mean, if we're starting off with 3, how many more is going to come after that? We'll have to wait and see. But in the rest of this video, we'll go through all the images. We'll have a proper look at VASHTORR later on. And that shocked face he's coming with, which just makes me laugh every time I look at it now. Great model, though. But here we go. Here's the look ahead for Arks of Omen. So it looks like we've got 1, 2, and 3 going across winter and into spring. And then notice later on in spring, the 4th slot, it says redacted. So does that mean there won't be any more books after these first 3 Arks of Omen books? Or is this a hint that that's when we can expect to see perhaps the new edition? Or is that too soon? I was thinking more around summertime, but maybe it's going to be a little bit earlier than we thought. Anyway, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We've been seeing this Emperor's Tarot popping up on the Warhammer community site lately, and it's all leading up to this Arks of Omen. So in this video now, we get a bit more information, and it tells us in the article today that this is kicking off the next big narrative arc for Warhammer 40,000. We're going to see a story unfolding across a series of books, which all the books will be packed with lore and game rules. Now it says again in the article that we've caught sight of the first 3. Again, they're hinting that it's the first 3, so there's more to come. It goes on to say that each book is named for the character it stars, and we already know about Abaddon, and we also know the second name, the second book, Angron, and then there's the new one that for the new character that we'll have a look at later on in the video, where we'll see this new model, which is pretty cool, for VASHTORR. But the whole story is going to be centered around Abaddon's Bale fleets, and they've set out to recover mysterious artifacts from all corners of the Imperium. So it's pretty interesting and good storyline. I think it's going to be really fun, but how many books do we have to buy to actually play it? That's the question, I think. So it says again that the first 3 books reignite the classic struggle between Imperium Man and the forces of chaos, and the 3rd then introduces a major new character to the setting, and that's going to be VASHTORR. Then it says the 4th book will be a distinctly Xenos affair, however. Then they'll have more on that next year, along with news on the rest of the series. So it does look like the books are going to continue past 4. There's going to be more than 4 books. So maybe there's not going to be a new season as early as spring then. So it is going to be pushed further along. Maybe even later than summer. If there's 4 books, that takes us to spring. Maybe they bring out 2 books in the summertime then. Maybe the next edition is the end of the year. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, how many books are going to come out for this? And how long is it going to go on for? Lots of questions still need to be answered, but we do get a sneak peek inside one of the books, and this is the first book, and so it tells us that we get this new style of play in Warhammer 40k. So we're going to get new rules. These are the board-in actions we've seen, and this is all designed around 500-point armies fighting in these space hulks. Let's grab that contents page and have a closer look at it. So we're going to get quite a bit of narrative to kick things off with the introduction, then the Arks of Omen Abaddon, and then we go into the rules after a little showcase. So there's going to be 36 pages of rules there, and that might not be all of it. There might be more after that. Usually these books are going to be, 120 pages? Maybe a little bit shorter, but if the rules go up to 86, maybe some more fluff after that. But looking at the rules here, we're going to get board-in actions, the different battlefields, and then the rules. And so stratagems specific to that, that's interesting. And then everything to set up the board-in action games, mustering a board-in patrol of 500 points. So looking forward to seeing that for sure. And then we've got from page 70 onwards board-in action missions. So a few there, we're looking at 9 missions. And then, so yeah, about 20 pages of rules and then the rest in missions. So I wonder if we'll get after this a section on campaign play. Surely that's what will come afterwards for the extra pages in the book. That's what I would expect to see. But that's all we're seeing so far from the article. I wonder if the rules are going to be in every book and then we can just jump in and play the part of the narrative arc that we want to play. Or do we have to get this book to get the rules, and then each book after that will be different. I think the rules are going to be included in it. It's only 20 pages of rules, and then each book would have specific missions then. So yeah, if it's only 20 pages of rules, I think that they could well include that in each of the books. I really like the idea of 500-point armies in these close combat environments, fighting in the Space Hulk. With the terrain from Kill Team, that's perfect. You can use 2 sets and you're good to go. Or you can buy the Board in Actions box set that's coming out later on, and that could be a good option too. It's certainly going to be interesting to see which units to pick, because the vehicles and monsters aren't included, and so that's going to be interesting. I think I need some heavy intercessors for my Imperial Fists. Yeah, I really do, don't I? I think to get going in here. I'll definitely be taking the Hellblasters in there, though. They're going to have some action, so looking forward to that. But yeah, I think this is a really fun environment, but I just don't want to buy loads of books. I'd be happy getting one to get the rules, and then hopefully that'll be enough to make up missions and things after that. But if we want to follow the story, it could be quite costly, and we could be seeing a lot of books in the pipeline. Okay, now it's time to take a look at VASHTOR the ARKIFANE. This is the major new character for Warhammer 40,000, and there's a really good video on the Warhammer community site that they took from the online preview. If you want to watch that, it's got Wade Price in there talking about the background and lore in depth on this model. I've cut it out just so we can cut those clips out and have a good look at the model itself. But if you want to see a lot more in-depth information about the model itself and how it fits in with the universe, I definitely recommend watching that video and getting it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. But great looking model. It just looks really funny, that face. There's a lot to like about the rest of the model, but I just keep looking at the face. It's making me laugh a little bit. I just think he looks so shocked. But yeah, really cool how they've put this together. The idea of him being a demon in flesh and mechanical form is pretty interesting. I really like it, and certainly different from what we've got already. And I love how they've described him as an enigmatic demonic mechanic, a fiendish forge master who specialises in corrupt machines and insane innovation. That's a great description. What a sentence. He's also the master planner behind the whole ARKS of OMEN scheme. So this guy's got a lot to answer for. And yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Look at the wings that are more like tools. So he can't fly, they said. They're more like tools. They don't help him like fly across the battlefield. And he's got that huge hammer as well, which is awesome. But I love the idea that that flesh is just intertwined with all these different mechanics. Just looks really menacing, really sinister. And yeah, I've got to get used to that face a little bit more though. One thing they mentioned in the article is that the Dark Mechanicum thing is great. And of course, we could be seeing some more models in the Dark Mechanicum maybe later next year. Maybe that's going to be a whole new faction to look forward to. So yeah, this is a really interesting character. And I think there's a lot can be built off of this. So yeah, we're looking forward to finding out more. Also looking forward to seeing his rules and what he can do in the game. Nothing included in the article, so we don't get any sneak peeks at that. Just pretty much the lore and the model itself. So there we go. It's been a pretty good day for reveals all round. We saw some great reveals earlier for Warhammer 40k with the World Eaters. Age of Sigmar's been fantastic. Loads for the Gloomspite Gits. And I hope you've been enjoying these quick videos that I put up that just take the main information from the online preview. I'd love to hear your thoughts so far, but also what do you think about this specifically and the ARKS of Omen? Are you looking forward to it? Do you like the idea of all these books coming out over the next almost a year, really? I mean, we're looking right through spring with potential into summer as well. And what do you think of this new character and what he's going to bring to the game? And do you like the idea of playing in Space Hulk with 500-point armies? Love to hear your thoughts on any or all of those things. I'm covering all the reveals that were shown today in the Warhammer Online preview, so look out for a video for each of those reveals. There's going to be 7 in total, so lots to catch up on, and what I'll be doing is taking all the information from the preview and the article that followed it, and then condensing it down into a quick video so you don't have to plough through and watch all of the fillers in between. So hopefully this is going to help you get to the good stuff a lot quicker. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, please hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and don't forget to hit that notification bell too so you can join me here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Game. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my sponsor Firestorm Games for helping me to keep going with these daily videos. I'll put a link in the description down below where you can save up to 20% on all your hobby products, not just Warhammer, all the other games that are available too. And here's a special code, so if you've made it this far in the video, you can use this code now. Add that at checkout, save an additional 5% on top of those already great savings. And as this is going to be valid until the end of November, we might just get there in time to be able to use this for those Christmas Battle Force box sets. A massive thank you to my Patreon supporters who've been there right from the beginning, supporting me to grow the channel. I really appreciate it, and I'd love it if you consider joining my Patreon, and so I'll put a link to that in the description down below too.